We're doing an earlier live Q&A today. I'm going to wait for some of you to join me. Dan is very kindly going to keep an eye on the comments for me. Let's see if anyone comes along. If you don't, I'll just talk to myself. It's all fine. And we will learn that it works better in the evening. How are we all today? Are we all good? Run off your feet? Enjoying the peace and quiet while the kids are at school? Anyone come in? So while we're waiting for some people to join, let's tell you about, what should I talk about? Let's tell you about our family events. So we run family events and coffee mornings and family weekends and things like that all across the country, all throughout the year. You can find all of the details on our Facebook page, Prader-Willi Syndrome Association UK. So not the community hub, not the group you're on now. If you go to our page and click on the events link, hi, whoever that is, I've got a feeling that's Dan. If you have a look on our events page, click on the events tab and it will tell you everything that's going on over the next few months. We have one coming up. Hi, Ray. You might be the only one joining us, but that's all right because you can have my attention for the next half an hour and ask whatever you want. So I was just saying about the events. We've got one coming up in Brighton on the 28th of April. We have another one on the 28th of April in High Lodge in Thetford. They're a really lovely opportunity to meet other families if you're ready to do that. And just kind of let you know that you're not on your own, really, and be able to speak to other people that are going through the same kind of things that you're going through. How are you doing today, Ray? Loved the folder, for goodness sake, the poster that you sent through. We've made a couple of adjustments, nothing major, but it's looking good. And I think over the next couple of days we might be ready to send it back to you, so you can approve it for us and give us permission to use it. It'd be very, very useful for people. Have you got a question? Anyone want to ask anything? Sensory seeking stuff. What do you mean? Give me a bit more information, Ray. What do you mean? I love it. I think it's going to be really, really useful, that poster that you did. It must have taken you ages, but I think it's going to be really, really useful. We will, once we've sent it back to you for approval and we get it back again, we will put it on the community hub page. We'll put it up on our website as well, and then make sure that we let people know that it's there. Oh, Willie, bless him. Gideon goes through your makeup bag. I mean, my girls do that as well. Caitlin, my 7-year-old's quite good at putting makeup on. Millie's absolutely dreadful. She looks like she's ready for Halloween. So do you mean, have you tried things like, I'm sure you have you tried things like having a box for him that's got lots of different things in it, even if you go to Poundland and buy like cheap makeup that's got like little bits and pieces in? Yeah, no, it isn't. It's not being wantonly destructive, my love. I agree. It's curiosity, and it's just, like you say, it's sensory seeking. But have you tried like having his own box, or is it that it's yours that he likes? Even if you bought some cheap makeup from Poundland or somewhere like that, there are other places available for cheap makeup. And got him his own little makeup bag, and even if you kept it in the drawer next to yours or wherever yours may be, would that be something that might work? Oh, bless you. I thought you might have tried it, to be honest. And he's still going for your makeup. Emily does the same. Hi, Anna. Empty toiletries everywhere. Oh, bless your hearts. Do you know what? This isn't an area that I have a great deal of experience in, but I'm gonna ask some people. Let's throw it out. This video is going to be available once we've finished as well. It's going to be available on the community hub. So I'm going to post about it. I'm going to put a post out, and I'm going to post across all of Facebook if that's all right with you. and see. Thank you, Dan, for posting that. We're going to throw it out to parents. Let me put a post up about it across all of the groups on Facebook and see if there is anything that anyone comes up with. Vicky, when you've hidden yours away, have you found that your little one has tried to find something else to use? Have they then moved on to something else? Or has it kind of solved the issue? No problem, Ray. I'm just writing myself notes. I am still paying attention, I promise. Anna, does she do it at times when you're with her, or can it just be something that she'll just go off and sneak? I mean, do you have the opportunity to like put down a messy play mat or an old bed sheet or anything and have a definite time to do it? Again, you know, I know with family dynamics it's not always possible. Yeah, Ray, definitely. We can get a feel for that and see if it is something that is just a phase that he's going through, or if it's something that you need to get used to. We can throw it out and see. I mean, one of the things that works with Millie is if we set a very definite time for her to do it and that she knows that that's when it's going to be. Yeah, that's the thing, Ray. And I think that's Gideon is very, very inquisitive, isn't he? And he's very good at finding things, and not just around food, around sensory stuff, and just he's a very, very curious little man, isn't he? Bless him. I'm just writing myself a note so that I remember to post it. And to see what other parents do, see if there's anyone's kind of come up with an answer or come up with something that works really well for them. When I'm not looking. Yeah, so Anna, in the same way as Ray's little boy, then she's very inquisitive and kind of. Does she almost wait for the opportunity when you're not looking? Or will she do it when you're looking as well, Anna? Ray, do you mean he copies whatever you do? Or that copies the behaviour that's around him? It's hard, isn't it? I mean, this is something that we've heard of a lot. So it's certainly not something that's unique. I think that we would get a good response if we post it on Facebook. I think a lot of parents will come back and say, yeah, mine does the same. Whether anyone has an answer or has a strategy, that's answer's the wrong word, but if I don't know if anyone will have a strategy that may work really, really well for them. Anna, with Amelia, could it be, I don't know what she's like with food seeking. Does Amelia food seek as well, or is it just kind of around the same? It's just kind of around body lotions and stuff. I'm very sorry. I was reading another comment then and got distracted. Right, it is difficult, you know, and as well as having Prader-Willi syndrome, it's, you know, Gideon's also a little boy. And all children at some point or another will try and copy what we do and won't always do it safely. And it is something that we need to watch out for. Yeah, absolutely, Ray. I agree. Just knowing that you're not on your own is something that's going to make a big difference as well. Anna, I wonder if with Amelia, if particularly as you've said, like she knows she shouldn't be doing it and it's when you're not looking, could it be that she knows that she's not allowed to seek food or that she's not allowed to grab food, and so she's kind of grabbing something else? Or does that not make any sense? Still for two, have kitchen locked and alarmed. Hi, Carol. Carol, how's Jacob today? How's he doing? Because he turned a corner, didn't he? And then he's been poorly again. No way. Oh, Carol, I'm really sorry to hear that. Did you manage to get hold of the nurse or a consultant? Is anyone helping you? Is anyone taking it seriously? Okay, well, that's something. If you're waiting on a phone call from the consultant. Not that you would be, but don't be afraid to fight. Do not be afraid to insist. Don't be afraid to tell them that, you know, they can call us. Even if you end up taking him to A&E again, you can give him our number and just say nothing more than, please, will you just give the association a ring? Because this has been going on for, what is it, a week now, isn't it? He's losing weight. He already has enough difficulties with his eating anyway, and they need to find out exactly what's going on. Even if it's a tummy bug, as I said to you before, even if it's a tummy bug, it is still really unusual for a child with PWS to be as sick as he has been. You're absolutely right, it isn't normal. And the thing is, I'm sure that people in your house and people around you have had tummy bugs before, and Jacob hasn't reacted like this. You know, this is a one-off for Jacob. So if you need our help in any way, give us a shout. Tell the consultant to ring us, tell the GP to ring us, the nurse. We will help you in any way that we can. And this has to be taken seriously. It can't just be left. Very happy to speak to the consultant for you if you think that it'll help. No problem, no problem. If you think the consultant, you know, if not that they'll listen to me, but I can be forceful. Bless your heart. So how long, Carol, how long did he go in between vomiting? Because didn't he mean he like managed to keep one feed down, I think, didn't he? Before it then started again. So going back onto the other, the sensory seeking stuff, Ray and Anna, just because you're the two that have mentioned it, do they have any sensory playtime? Whether it's in nursery or whether it's at home or whether it's in school? Oh, bless him. See, the thing is, Carol, is that's kind of, not that I'm medically trained, because I'm not, so don't take my opinion as anything other than an opinion. So what makes me think that it's maybe not a tummy bug, because if you can manage to keep 4 feeds down and then you start again, bless him. I hope you get to the bottom of it, my love. So Gideon gets loads of sensory time at school. What kind of things do they do with him at school, Ray? Are there any kind of activities there that they do in terms of sensory input? Is there anything there that you could repeat at home? Again, you know, I know what your family life is like, my love. I've got 4 kids myself. I know it's not always possible. Sometimes it does, Anna. Sometimes, you know, it doesn't always help, but I mean, it might just be that she'd like a little sensory activity at home. Ray, your community paediatrician, you mean any tips in terms of information to pass on or questions to ask or both? One of the things that's really important with your community paediatrician when you go is to make sure that they're receiving letters from your other consultants that you go to and from other hospital appointments that you have. Right, okay, let's go one at a time. So Ray, let's talk about the community paediatrician first. It's really important to make sure that they are receiving, so they're on the CC list for any other specialists that you see, and make sure that they're keeping up to date with any of the letters that go out. In terms of who the community paediatrician sends their letters to, make sure that they've got the nursery or school down, because it's really, really important for them to receive a copy and to keep up to date with what's happening. Obviously your GP. Don't worry about it, Ray. I did that last week. I was jumping all over the place in the video. Couldn't keep up with myself. Ask, what kind of things could you ask your community paediatrician? Try to tie them down to the next appointment if you can, or have a rough idea of when it's going to be. If there is anything that you need support and help with. So with the community paediatrician, ask them about the sensory seeking. You know, I know they're not going to be a specialist in Prader-Willi necessarily, but they might have some tips that they can give you, and they might have something, some guidance they can give you. If you're having any issues at the school or anything that you feel that the school could do with a bit of guidance with, certainly get your community paediatrician involved, but also ask us as well. Excuse me, we can get involved in that, although Ray, to be honest, I think you've pretty much got that down. If there's any way you'd like to be referred to, so if you're not happy with your dietitian, or if you feel that you're not getting enough support from physio, or if you'd like to be seen by physio or speech and language, that kind of thing, the community paediatrician is the one that's going to be able to refer you. Back to the sensory things that they do at school. Is there, so like the painting and the Play-Doh and slime, is there any of that that you would be happy to do at home, or is that just going to be a complete nightmare in terms of, one, having time to do it, and two, being, I'm just checking that I'm not missing any comments, one, being able to have time to do it, and two, being able to do it safely, so being able to do it in a way that is going to be supervised. I know you've got your other little ones there as well, so are you going to be able to dedicate time to it? Do you find that when you do get the opportunity to do it, does it reduce him going through your makeup and stuff, or not really? Is it still kind of the same? Anna, it's the same for you as well. You know, these are all ideas that we can try and introduce, but sometimes you just don't get time. Sometimes life gets in the way, and you know, we're all busy, and there's not always time to be able to do these sensory things, because again, they're not 5-minute activities. It's not something that you can just sit them down and go, okay, then get on with it. It's a lovely opportunity to spend time with them and to dedicate a bit of time to them, but we're not always able to do it. And even when we are able to do it, sometimes it just doesn't make a difference. So etc. doesn't stop him seeking. Okay, so we'll throw this out to Facebook. We'll see if other parents are going through the same thing, if anyone's been given any advice by any specialists. What I might do as well is email it to a couple of endocrine nurses and a speech and language therapist that I know as well, and see if they can give us any help or any guidance. See if they might not have anything particular to say it. I know, bless you, Ray. Yeah, that's the thing, Anna. It's just not possible. This is one of the things I think that as parents, whether we have special needs children or not, we spend so much time beating ourselves up that we haven't got time for this, we haven't got time for that, and oh, really, I should be doing this, and really, I should be doing that. Do you know what? Some days, as long as they're fed and clean, it's the best we can hope for. And we're in such a society of where we beat ourselves up, and then other people kind of join in with it, and well, you should be doing this, and you know, you should be doing that, and this, they need this much stimulation, and yes, they do, but they're not going to collapse without it. You know what I mean? All any of us can do is our best. It's hard work having a child with Prader-Willi syndrome, and sometimes we just need to give ourselves a break. And as long as by the end of the day they are fed, watered, clean and loved and still breathing, then I reckon that's a good day myself. I reckon we should all give ourselves a pat on the back, especially if we're still breathing at the end of it and not in a nut out somewhere. So, you know, it's we have to give ourselves a break sometimes, and we have to big each other up. Sometimes it is enough just to get through the day. It is constant, Carol. It's absolutely constant. There's no let up. And sometimes we just have to celebrate that we got through the day. We don't have to change the world. We don't have to be, you know, the absolute model parent that has managed to do absolutely everything, and that they've had like 30 minutes of stimulation, and that we've dedicated time to read books with them and all the rest of it, because sometimes it just isn't realistic, and that's all right. It's okay if we don't get everything done in a day, as mums in general, as parents in general. It's all right if we don't get it all done in a day. It's all right if we leave a bit of washing. It's all right if you go to bed and there's washing up in the sink. Don't matter. Who's it hurting? Absolutely no one. So let's give ourselves a break. Yeah, exactly, Carol, as long as they're happy. And do you know what, Anna? We all get it. I mean, I work for the association, and I am very, very passionate about raising awareness of Prader-Willi syndrome and doing the best that I can do to help other families and to help myself. Do you know what I mean? I'm in the same position as you are. I've got an 11-year-old with Prader-Willi syndrome, and I am a big champion of just letting it be. And just, you know what, if you have to write a day off, just write it off. It doesn't matter. And I think that there's nothing more powerful than speaking to other parents that are in the same position and that get it and go, do you know what, it don't matter. Because parents that don't have children with additional needs, as much as they would love to, There's no real way of them understanding it until you've walked in our shoes. And I don't mean by looking after our children for a couple of hours either. I mean, you've got to give it a good 2 weeks, day and night, of walking in our shoes before you're going to really kind of get an insight into what this is like. And even if they do that, God bless them, they still go back to not having a child with additional needs at the end of it. PWS Awareness Month is in May. It's for the entirety of May. I think that there is, so I'm going to have to check, and Dan's on, and Dan will be able to tell you better than I will. I'm sure that there's one specific day in May as well where we really push it and we ask you to wear certain colours and stuff, or that we try and get schools to do things on a certain day. Is that right, Dan, that there's one, or is it the entire month and we're just going to push it the entire month? The other thing to mention here as well is that we, do you know what happens to us a lot, right? One of the things that we find is that all of you lovely families and all of you lovely people will fundraise for us and hold an event or do something to raise money. And the first that we hear of it is when we get the donation, which is absolutely lovely and it's absolutely wonderful and it's what keeps us going. But we really want to support you in your fundraising. So if we know that you're doing it, we can help you with that. We can send you our merchandise, we can send you t-shirts, we can send you flyers, we can send you leaflets. We can be here, Dan and Karen, to help you through that process. It doesn't have to be a really, really big thing that you do. Any little thing makes such a huge difference, but we want to be able to support you through it. So let us know. We can help you come up with ideas. We can help you put things in place. Let us help you do it and be part of that. You're drafting the post for Dan, you lucky girl. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good idea, Ray. Dan all month. Hi, Angela. Let's try and get the PWS stuff out there too. So one of the things that we're doing in May is the hula hoop challenge. I don't know if any of you have heard about it. I don't know if it's being pushed on social media yet. So Dan, stop me if you need to. But we're going to be doing a hula hoop challenge. And we are going to ask you to, again, see, I should find out about these things before I start talking about them. Otherwise it just comes out as rubbish. But the hula hoop challenge consists of, I believe, that we are going to video ourselves hula hooping for as long as we can do it. And then we challenge 3 of our friends on Facebook to then do the same. And it's a way of raising awareness. And I think we make a donation as well, but Dan's going to have to get me up to speed on that. Oh, it's a more to come. It's a more to come. But yeah, I mean, again, see, the odd socks thing, it's a really, really simple idea that has really taken off. So it's definitely, it's those kind of ideas that we need. Something, it just needs to be really simple and something that's quite catching, so that and something that's not too strenuous, that people are going to want to join in with and take part in. We do the Go Orange. I think it is the 15th of May. Oh, see you later, Anna. I think it is the 15th of May. But Dan is the man to go to with that kind of thing. He's the man to ask, Dan and Karen. Because I'm more on the support side, I'm not quite as up to date as I should be with different things that we're going to be doing. But I know it's going to be across Facebook. But yeah, any ideas that you can come up with, anything that you can think of that you think would work well, if you can get the schools involved as well, that's always amazing. I know Millie's school last year did a little presentation in assembly about Prader-Willi syndrome, and everyone wore purple because it was one of our new logo colours. And they had like I want to say fun day, but it wasn't quite a fun day, but just within the school. And she goes to a special needs school, so it's slightly different. But they had different classrooms set out with all the things that those with Prader-Willi really enjoy doing. So they had one room for jigsaws, they had another room with word searches in, they had one room that had like a little party going, that had music played low and the lights were turned down low, and a bubble machine, so it was a bit sensory as well. They had the sensory room that they could access, which was really, really nice. But like I say, they are a special needs school, and the Oh, right, I like that idea. You can go first on that, love. They, the headmistress at my daughter's school has a son with Prader-Willi syndrome, so it was a right touch there. Yep, Dan just saying, if you see a hula hoop out and about and want to get involved, then please do so. I think, you know, you probably have to you'd have to pay for the hula hoop. I mean, don't just walk into a shop and pick up a hula hoop. And well, I don't know though, I suppose you could just walk into a shop. If you don't want to buy one, just stand in the aisle and hula hoop for a couple of minutes and post it on Facebook. But yes, Ray, you lead the way with dyeing your hair bright orange. I'll sponsor you. You've got that live that I will sponsor you. I don't know if I'd dye my hair bright orange, but I mean, we could, couldn't we? I mean, how long do we, for the whole month of May? Like we should maybe dye it purple, pink and orange in all of our colours, and then people will ask what on earth we're doing. Don't you think? I don't know why you're laughing, Ray. I'm completely serious. Has anyone got any questions? Anyone got any other questions? We've spoken about sensory, we've spoken about fundraising, we've spoken about our family events. Has anyone else got a question that they'd like to ask or want to say hello? Oh, Angela, that's a really good idea. Carol, yeah, an orange streak. Not going to go for the whole complete look of bright orange, but I'll have a little. I might do, look, this annoying little bit of hair that's here. I might do that bit orange. And then maybe this bit purple. And then a bit of pink. Ruin my fringe now, look. Oh, for goodness sakes, because it's back to front on the video. Doesn't matter. A group hula I really like the idea of. No, Ray, I don't believe that you can go back now. I mean, it's okay for us to do the streak, but you could be kind of like the leader, the lead on the extravaganza, and you can be bright orange. I mean, I would paint my face bright orange, but then I'd just look like an Oompa Loompa and no one would get the point of it. It wouldn't help us in our endeavours in any way. What do you mean, Carol? When do you get a diagnosis on non-verbal? Do you mean at what point are they diagnosed as being non-verbal rather than delayed speech? Which is a very interesting question. I am going to take that to the speech and language therapist. I think what you mean is that, like, when are they diagnosed as being non-verbal as opposed to delayed speech? Is that what you mean? Do you know what? I think a couple of years ago, not a couple of years ago because I've only been here 16 months. I think maybe about a year ago, this question came up as to what is defined, what defines them being non-verbal. I'd need to look back through my emails, but I'm pretty sure this was asked before, but a while ago, and it is something to do with them forming sounds. The ability to form sounds into actual words would define them as being delayed speech or non-verbal. But let me double check that. I'm sure I asked before. Let me double check and I will find out for you and see if we can get an answer. Hi, Jacob. Oh, you mean that's what he can say? I thought you meant he was saying hello now. Silly mare. Oh, 2 words and he doesn't point at things. Again, we can throw that out to Facebook for you, Carol, and ask across all the groups and see if we can get anyone to come back and see whether that's quite common. So he's got 2 words. And so he doesn't use Makaton really. And doesn't point. And when he's saying hi and mama, is he using it in the right context, or is it just that he'll just say it at random times and not necessarily saying hello to people? Yeah, so Ray, you could do the answer as well then, couldn't you, really? So we'll look into that and see. Like I said, I'll put it across Facebook, and I will also ask one of our salts and see if they've got any guidance for us. No, random. So he's got no real meaning behind it. He's not kind of saying it specifically. So for me, I would class him as non-verbal, but again, I'm not an expert, so I will look into that and I'll see if I can get a definite answer for you. And again, we'll put it across Facebook and see if any other parents are going through the same thing or if they've had the same thing. I know of a couple of parents whose children with PWS are still non-verbal. One is 7 and I think the other little one is 5, I think. But let's put it out there because then they can come back to you and they can, they can let you know for definite. So that's a really useful question because that's probably going to help. Now, if I don't get time to do it today, only because I'm going to be leaving the office for home soon so that I can go home and see my babies, I will definitely do it tomorrow. I'll definitely get the emails out and get the posts up so that we can start asking. Okay, any other questions or anything else that anyone would like to talk about or to bring up? As long as it's not about my fringe. Goodness sake, I'm having a right mare again. Anyone got anything they'd like to say or suggest? Yeah, Carol, it may well do, yeah. But let's throw it out there and see. Let's throw it out there and see what people are saying and see if we can get you any answers, or even just as Ray said, just the feeling of solidarity so that you know that you're not on your own and that there are other parents going through it as well. Okay, well, if no one's got anything else that they'd like to ask or bring up, then I am going to close this one and bring it to an end. What I will say, it doesn't seem to have been quite as busy as it is when we do it in the evening. So what I might do, because like I said, I want to make sure that we're not cutting anyone off and that we're not kind of missing a group of parents. So what I might do is to do them maybe do 2 in the evenings for 2 weeks and then maybe 1 in the day and see how that goes. So maybe do 1 in the day once a month and the rest of them in the evening time. But you guys can let me know what's going to work best for you. Pardon me, very sorry. So I will see you all soon. We'll do one next week. Next week's one will be back in the evening again. If we say around 7:30ish, something like that, 8 o'clock. Carol, please keep in touch and let us know what's happening with Jacob. Let us know if you need any help and just keep us up to date with how he's doing. Ray, take care. Thank you for all your help. Oh, hi, Donna. My love, Donna, do you want to give me a private message, sweetheart, after this video? Send me a little private message through Facebook. I'll pick it up, and that we've got lots of information that we can send you, and we've got lots of information on our website, and I'll have a little chat with you and get you to give me some more details, and we'll see how we can help. Is that all right? Sorry, my love, I didn't scroll down and see that. Hi. So I'm going to end the broadcast now. Donna, if you drop me a little private message and we'll see how we can help you. Take care, everyone. Carol, keep in touch. Ray will send the poster over to you for your approval. Thank you very much for your time, everyone, and we will see you again next week. Bye.